Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Peshawar Model School, Boys 3, Science Online class for Class 4. Unit 4, Characteristics of Living Things. This was the unit which we have studied. Our unit was about discussing the plants and animals. Cell, characteristics of living things, ecosystem, in which we discuss the food chain and the life cycle of fish and frog. We have studied the differences between plant and animal cell in detail. As you know that there are also some common parts which are present in both cells. These common parts, number 1 is cell membrane, present in both cells. Number 2 is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance which fills the cell, and all the small bodies which are called the organelles are suspended in it. And the third one which is common inside the cells of both cells, this is the nucleus which is present in all cells. Now, there are some differences which are present in plant and animal cells. The outermost layer of the plant cell is made from cellulose and it is cell wall, while the outermost cover of the animal cell is cell membrane. Cell membrane is it allows the certain material to move in and out of the cell. It also gives shape to the cell. Cell walls support and protect the plant cell, and it protects the cell from damage out the internal parts. The second difference which is between the plant and animal cell is the presence of the single vacuole in the cell of plant cell, and this single vacuole store food, water and waste substances. It also keep the cell rigid and give shape to the cell, while there are many small vacuoles are present in the cytoplasm of animal cells. The third point is the location of the nucleus. It is present in the center of the animal cell, while at the side of the plant cell. The fourth difference point which is present between the plant and animal cell is about the presence of the chloroplast. Chloroplast is disc-shaped organelle. It has chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorb sunlight energy for the process of photosynthesis. Plant cells are green because they have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green color chemical which is present inside a disc-shaped organelle called the chloroplast. These chloroplasts are not present in the animal cell. The second difference which we have second point which we have studied in the previous lesson was about the characteristics of living things. All living things have 7 characteristics, while non-living things have none of them. These are the need of food, locomotion, sensitivity, respiration, and has feelings and excretion and growth. Obviously, for the life, living things need to breathe. They take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. The second thing is food. Food is the substance which living things need to eat for getting energy, and this energy is used for performing different life activities. The third the third need or the characteristic is about movement. They move from place to place in search of food, water and shelter, and avoid from danger. These are the needs for which the animals move their body from one place to another place. The fourth one is that they have feelings, but before going to feelings, locomotion or movement in plants are not such prominent as in the case of the animals, because the plants certain parts show movement as it is fixed in its position, like roots grows towards the soil for absorbing the water, stem grows towards the light for absorbing the sunlight. So these types of movement, growth movements are present in the plants. Another thing that sunflower move their flower towards the sunlight, and such kind of movements are present in plants, but not very much clear as in the case of the animals. The next property which living things has is about the feelings. All living things are sensitive for their environment, and for receiving these sensitivity, these changes of the environment, they have sense organs in them, and human being also have 5 sense organs for receiving the environmental changes and for which they react to them. While such kind of sense organs are not present in plants, but some of the plants also sensitive for the touch and for the light, as in the case of mimosa plant. The leaves of mimosa are sensitive for touching. If you touch the leaves of mimosa plant, their leaves close. After a few minutes the leaves open again. And sunflower is sensitive for the light, so it turn its face towards the light where sunlight is available to it. The next property, fifth one property, is about the excretion of the waste material. So, as a number of chemical changes takes place inside the body of the living organisms, so certain materials are made inside the body for which body doesn't need it, and may they cause harm if they are stored for a long time. So it needs to remove the waste material from the body also. And the system which are responsible for removing these excretion from the body make the excretory system. Kidneys remove the urine from the body, lungs remove excess of the carbon dioxide from the body, skin get rid of the sweat in summer, which we have too much in summer. So these are the excretion parts from which the body get rid of the waste material. The last character which is present in the living thing is about the growth. Growth is a change of the body, shape and size, length, etc., etc. So such thing is not present in non-living things. A baby grows into an adult, a seed change into a plant. These kinds of changes in the structure of the body of the living things called the growth, and all these 7 characteristics are present in the living things but not present in the non-living things. The next topic which we have studied is about how living things depend on each other. They not just depend on each other, but they also depend on non-living things also. Such kind of connection between living things and non-living things make a system, and which is called the ecosystem. In this ecosystem, as you have seen a number of living things around it, but there are also some non-living things are present which directly or indirectly affect the life of living things also. This about the sunlight, the weather, water, soil. These are the non-living things, but they affect the life of living things. Let's take the example of plants. Plants grow in soil. They need water and sunlight for their food. If there is no soil, no water and sunlight, then how plants will grow and how plants will make their food? If certain conditions are not provided by them, they will never exist. They will disappear from the land. If they disappear from the land, then how will herbivore get their food? They will naturally die out. On the other hand, if these herbivores die, then the carnivores will never get their food. So automatically the whole life will disappear from the earth. So living things not only depend on each other for their food and other requirements, but they also depend on the non-living things for their life. Such kind of connection which is present between the living things and non-living things, they make a connection. They make connection, and this connection is called an ecosystem. Such kind of connections make an ecosystem. In ecosystem, all the living things are connected with each other by their food. The plants, which are called the producers, they don't need to take food from other living things, because they make their own food. They are green in color, they have chlorophyll, they take the energy from sunlight, and they take water and carbon dioxide from the air and make their own food. These producers or plants may become the food of a grasshopper. This is a simple food chain which shows how living things are connected with each other with respect of their food. So grasshopper take their food from the grasses. In return, this frog may eat this grasshopper as a food, and this frog may become the food of the snake, and the snake may become food of this eagle. So this is a simple food chain in which all living things are connected with each other. They are showing how living things are connected with each other and how they become the food of each other. The next topics which we have studied about the life cycles of frog, fish, and these life cycle is actually a series of changes. Life cycle is a series of changes which occurs in the life of an organism from birth to death. These are certain changes which occur in the life of an organism from birth to the death. We have studied the life cycle of fish. The egg hatch out a prey. Prey is resembling its adult, but not too much different from its adult from its parent, but very small in size. After few days it changes into an adult, while that frog spawn the eggs laid in the water. These eggs are very soft, they are not covered by the hard shells, so it need water for their eggs. The eggs hatch out a small creature, a fish-like creature, which is called tadpole. Tadpole resemble the fish too much, but it is not like a frog at that stage. As time passes, this small tadpole change into froglet. Their forelimbs and hind limbs, their front and back legs develop, the tail disappear and change into a froglet. After few times, when the lungs develop into in their body and gills disappear, so it is ready to leave the water and comes out on the land. As frog spend its life on two places, on land and in water. That's why they are called the amphibians. Now we are going to discuss the life cycle of insects. There are also two types of life cycles in the insects. We have studied the similarities and differences between the living things, how much they are same to their parents and how much they are different from their parents, and also we discussed the life cycle of flowering and non-flowering plants. So the life cycle is defined as a series of changes in the life of an organism from birth to an adult or to their death. How life cycle shows their changes and how these changes come in the life of an organism. Thus we will discuss here. Now we are going to discuss the life cycle of insects, which are of two types, incomplete and complete life cycle. Comparison of complete and incomplete life cycle. By comparing these two types of life cycles which are present in insects, are which has three stages of the life cycle, this is called incomplete life cycle, and the cycle which has four stages in their life cycle are called complete life cycle. The example of the incomplete life cycle is about the grasshopper. Grasshopper and cockroaches passes through these three stages. The egg hatch out a creature, and the name of this creature is nymph. Nymph hatch out from the egg. This is the example of the grasshopper. As you have seen, it is not much different from this adult one. There's a few differences, very minute differences between these two, maybe small in size, maybe change of the color. After few days it shed off its skin and get the skin color of its adult one and change into adult. So these are the life cycle of the grasshopper, which passes through 3 stages in its life: egg, nymph, and adult grasshopper. The next life cycle which we have discussed about the butterfly, and it belongs to 4 stages. Grasshopper belongs to 3 stages. The life cycle of grasshopper has 3 stages, that are egg, nymph, and adult, while the life cycle of butterfly has 4 stages, that are egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Now we are going to discuss the life stages of the butterfly. This is the egg of butterfly. The caterpillar, larva, the name of the stage is larva, and the creature which hatch out from the egg is caterpillar. After releasing from the egg, that start eating too much, and it change its length, and it takes the length. After few days it stop eating and start covering around self. The name of this cover is cocoon. The name of this cover is cocoon. Now the caterpillar get inside this cocoon, and this name of this stage is called pupa. Now the caterpillar inside this shows some changes in its body. There are some changes occur in their body. Their feelers develop, their wings develop, and after few days the cocoon erupts. The cocoon releases an adult butterfly with beautiful colors, and it releases into the environment. Now this adult butterfly after few days is ready to hatch the eggs, to give the eggs again, and from these eggs again caterpillar comes out, and again this caterpillar goes through a series of changes, and it changes into an adult. So generation after generation this life cycle goes through, and continue the generation of that particular species. Now differences and similarities. This topic discuss how much an organism is look like their parent and how much it is different from their parents. This show human look similar but has also some variations. All the humans have 2 legs, 2 hands, a nose, a pair of eyes and ears, but these things although they have these similar structures, but still they have some differences with the help of which we can differentiate them. Who is that person? Human inherit mean to take information. These variation from their parents, some of their mother and some of their father, may they are similar in their eyes color with their mother and hair color with their father, or may they have the way they talk, or may they have another skin color similar to one of the parent, but not exactly the matching its parent, may have some differences from their parents. That's why they look different from them. So such kind of differences are called variations. Such kind of differences are called variations, which they inherit from their parents, and these variations may hide in their parents, but they may become prominent in their offsprings, in their children, and they are visible now, and they make them different from the way they look like their parents. But on the other hand, plants and animals, they have babies exactly like them. We can't say that they are too much different, but they are looking similar to their parents. The seeds of apple will always give a plant of apple. It will never give a plant of orange or mango. They have the same characteristic, they are the exact copy of their parents. As also the animals are also have babies which are exactly like them. So such kind of characters they inherit, they take it from their parents. You can see the small babies of the parents which they inherit from their parents, and they look and behave same as their parents. The life cycle of flowering plants and non-flowering plants are same. The main difference is only the presence of flowers. Flowering plants and non-flowering, both life cycles start from seed. When we put the seed inside the soil, it start to begin to grow, and very small seedling comes out from the soil. These seedlings are the first leaves of the plant, and as time passes this seedling changes into a plant. It bears more it bears stem and more branches, and branches have a number of leaves on them. After few time, these plant bears flowers, and flowers when after pollination, fertilization, they change into fruit, and inside the fruit again we obtain the seeds. On the other hand, in case of non-flowering plants, the seed grows into seedling and then become the plant, and instead of flowers, this stage is not present in them, and they release the seed not enclosed in fruit but a cone-like structure is produced by them, in which seeds are naked and the seeds are not enclosed in the fruits. So the end product of the non-flowering plant are also seed, and the starting point of the non-flowering plant are also seed. So the life of the plant start from seed and ends also with the seed. Life cycle start from seed, seedling, adult plant, and then seeds in the fruit. Life cycle of flowering plants start from seed, seedling, adult plant, then seeds but without fruits. Now we are going to do the written work. Ready the page for this written work. Draw the margin line, write down today's date. After doing this, on the first line, write question number 1. Give comparison of plant and animal cell. After doing this, divide the page into equally two parts. Give the heading of plant cell and animal cell. Underline these headings. Write down the first point of the plant cell. Cell wall is the outer layer of the plant cell. Write down the next line in animal cell, but in front of the plant cell you write these points on the opposite side. No cell wall is present in animal cell, and the outer layer is cell membrane in animal cell. In animal cell, the outer layer is cell membrane. Number 2 point, nucleus is present at the side of the cell. Inside the cell, nucleus is present at the side, while in animals, nucleus is present in the center of the cell. One large vacuole is present in the center of cell. Many small vacuoles are present in animal cells. Chloroplast is present in plant cell. Chloroplast is absent in animal cell. The next question, for the next question, ready the next page, write down today's date, and then write the question, why frogs are called amphibians. Answer, after leaving a line, you can write the answer. Frogs are amphibians because they start their life from water and then comes on the land. Point number 2, as they live in two places that are land and water, that's why frogs are called amphibians. Then draw the ending lines, and thank you boys.